Hey guys, it's Ben here again from Ben Press and Hot Toys Reviews, and today we're doing part 1 of my Dark Knight trilogy from Hot Toys. Today, as you can see, part 1 is Bane. So it doesn't come with the shipper, as I have borrowed this figure again off my brother, so thanks a lot for that. As you can see, front of the box, you've got, it's kind of two-tones, so here it's got parts that are detail like the bat logo here, that's kind of like textured. Then you get this side, which as you can hear, rough, and then this side kind of like soft, glossy. Then the lettering is actually kind of glossy over the rough texture here. Picture of Bane on one side and then just kind of grey on the other. It says Bane, 1/6 scale collectible figure, Hot Toys, movie masterpiece, DC Comics, Dark Knight Rises written right across here. On the side, it's got a little Dark Knight Rises logo with a little white bat logo crumbled. MMS 183, 1/6 scale collectible figure. On the top, it just carries on the image really. Same on the bottom, then on the other side as the other side. So as you can see, it does actually, I don't really like the phrase that some collectors use, shoebox style, because when I get a shoebox it normally opens up like that, not like that, but that's just me. This kind of looks like a Converse box though, to be honest. It does really look like that, but anyway, sorry, on the back it says Bane, 1/6 scale collectible figure, MMS 183, Hot Toys presents movie masterpiece series, all the credits, on just a black background. And what you'll do is lift up this section here, then it says "Let the games begin," which is obviously Bane's quote in the film, and then just a kind of picture of Bane that's kind of just printed on there, kind of like a, not a comic, like just like a logo. It's really cool, it's pretty cool. Obviously if you've seen a Catwoman review, but which I won't be doing, I'm afraid, because I don't actually have that figure, it says there's a storm coming, and then I believe that it's a kiss mark. So each one has different sort of logos, but this isn't a DX, just to confirm. This is just movie masterpiece, which is kind of a letdown, to be honest, because most of the acting, I believe, from Tom Hardy's Bane actually came from his eyes, because obviously that's the only part of his face that you really see. So most of his acting actually came from his eyes, so I believe that a PERS system would have been pretty helpful. Anyway, you lift off this cardboard insert, and then Bane is there in the box. Now I'm going to explain the box. I'm not going to actually remove it because it's quite difficult to do on camera, but you get this plastic clamshell here, and then you remove the top section of the clamshell that holds the figure, and then below it you get the stand and the manuals. Just to confirm that, I'm not going to do it on camera, but just to explain so you know where your stand is. So now I'm going to crack Bane out of the packaging, and we're going to take a closer look at the figure. Got Bane opened up with all his accessories here. So the figure, he comes with obviously this this kind of vest that he wears, utility vest. The mask is non-removable, just saying that for anyone that thinks it is, because I don't know why, but some people think it might have been. No, it's sculpted on there. That wrist guard just there, zoom in quickly for you, is that's just on the hand. It comes like that in the box, you don't have to have it on, but it just looks pretty cool, I think. And then the vest is actually removable, but I don't know why you'd want to do that. I mean, you can actually just put on that sweater that he wears, but I prefer to just put it on top. But anyway, we'll move on to that later. So here is the long sheepskin coat that he wears when he stands on top of the tumbler. That's the most famous scene as I can remember. Then you've got the sweater that he wears in the final fight. Then it comes with the broken back cowl, which is really cool. Then the wrist guard, which just like that one, but it actually has a little slit hole just there for the thumb to slide through, so you can have it open palmed. Obviously, pair of open palmed hands, relaxed palm hands, and then the two-fisted hands that come on the figure. And then, just watch a bit closer, this figure stand, which is kind of like a grid design, which it looks like a DX stand, to be honest. It doesn't obviously come with the spotlights, but it does look to me like a DX stand, which is really cool. So it comes with the grid kind of design that was in the sewers when Batman and Bane were actually fighting. It says Bane there. Then it has kind of like a bat logo there, which is really subtle, and I really, really like that. But yeah, the stand is really nice. The figure's really great. Now I'm going to move on to just putting him in a quick pose for you. So yeah, let's move on to that. Stay tuned. So here I've got Bane posed with the sweater on, just looking at the bat cowl. The way he holds it in the film is he holds it by the bat ears as he's walking away, but you can't actually get him holding that, as they didn't give a hand to do that, but you can hold it like this, which I actually think is more impressive, in my opinion, but they still should have given us a hand to be able to do that. So yeah, I just got him stood in a stance, but just showing you a quick pose really with the figures. I can't really think of many poses for this off the top of my head, but we'll go through that in articulation anyway. So just giving you that as a little idea. So now we're just going to move on to articulation. So now moving on to articulation, I'm just going to point out a couple of things first, as I don't really think I do this a lot in my reviews, which I should do, to be honest. The detail on the mask is just incredible. The likeness to Tom Hardy is good, and I mean, I know there's only so much they can do because it only shows these parts of his head and face, but I don't know, there's something about the eyes that are a bit off to me, but the detail is all there. The little slit in his eyebrow, the veins on the side of his head. Even, if you look on the side of the mask here where there's kind of a gap, his skin kind of puffs out on the sculpt a bit more, so it's just like it's actually coming out. On the back of his neck is where you'll see a lot of detail. The scar, which he has in the film, will follow down his neck from the back of his mask, and then it literally follows all the way down here if you take the jacket off. Also, no, it's just a line of plastic. So these details add up as it just makes the figure so much more authentic. Even though it's a movie masterpiece, it really could be considered something along the lines of a DX. But as I say, the purse system would have been a lot better on this figure, as he's looking up for some reason. I don't know why, but his eyes are constantly just looking up, which I think is a bit strange. But anyway, moving on to articulation. The head, now this neck is it's a rubber body, so you get a little bit more articulation. Head can move down about that much, up about that much, rotate 360 degrees, tilt left and right. Now his arms, as I say, this whole upper torso is rubber, so his arms can lift up about that much, rotate 360 degrees. They can bend at 90 degrees. He kind of has an upper bicep rotation, and the wrists rotate 360 degrees and move forward and back, kind of. Yeah, they have a bit of rotation there. But yes, now a lot of people were curious when it was first coming out, can you do the pose where he's holding on what he does throughout most of the film? No, you can't, because it's not a double elbow, because obviously then, to be fair to Hot Toys, if they would have done it as a double bend elbow, they would have got complaints anyway as it is, because, you know, they would have said, oh, you can see the joint, but then people complain anyway that you couldn't do that pose, so they can't win, to be honest. But yeah, you can't get it in that pose unless you do switch out the body, which a lot of people have done, but I wouldn't suggest it. So yeah, that's the arm done. He does have an ab crunch that is really, really good. Then forward and back, that's really good. Then he can tilt side to side really well, and rotate side to side. Now his legs go up about, without the ab crunch, go up about that much, bend about 90 degrees, rotate at the upper part of the leg, and then rotate. There's no actual pivot forward and back on the shoes, no side to side, but you can rotate them. So yeah, that's it for articulation. Now I'm just going to move on to my final verdicts on the figure, and then just to discuss what's yet to come with this Dark Knight trilogy. Okay, so now moving on to my final verdict of the figure. Got the box behind him, sorry. Just got him stood in this pose, which he will stay in this pose from now until he is reposed. But I've got to say, the figure to me, I think, is bang on. I mean, as I've said, I'm not too sure about the likeness. I think the eyes are a bit too far apart, to be honest. It would have been better as a DX with the purse system, although I do know they have done some movie masterpiece with the purse system. But the main reason it should have been a DX is to go with the other figures, so Batman and Joker, and just because, to be honest, DXs are obviously just better. But yeah, I think the main thing for me that actually makes this figure is the clothing. To be honest, the sweater and the jacket just give it that ultimate Bane look. But yeah, I have nothing else really to say on the figure. I've got to be honest with you guys, I don't actually think you can pick this up anymore unless you really want to pay a lot for it on something like eBay. But yeah, that's all I've really got to say on the figure. I would recommend it, but just keep those things in mind. You know, if you want that pose and you're desperate for that pose, you can't get him actually holding the jacket, which is unfortunate. But yeah, so great figure, but would have been better as a DX. But yeah, so now I'm just going to go through with you guys what's going to be happening with the upcoming reviews. So what I basically decided to do is the Dark Knight trilogy. So I'm doing, I've done this now, Bane, then I'm doing Batman DX12 from the Dark Knight Rises, which is actually my figure, which I got recently. Bought it brand new on eBay, which was, it was lucky, to be honest with you. I was really lucky to collect that brand new. My brother got it me for my birthday, so I'm really happy with that. But I did have to cancel out on getting the Arkham City Batman, but my brother will be getting that anyway, so I suppose I'll be doing a review on that anyway. So you got that coming on. Then I got Joker 2.0 as I paid for that myself, which I was really proud of. Picked it up off a great seller on 1/6 Scale Views and Reviews Facebook group called Carl Cooper. So that's a shout out to Carl Cooper, great figure seller. Also, my brother's just picked up a DX06 Jack Sparrow. So I should maybe have a review of that coming in the near future, and he's bought that off the same guy, Carl Cooper, great seller again. But yeah, the Joker 2.0 will be part 3 and the final part, because I don't actually have the Tumbler or anything like that. I was going to get the Tumbler, but then I chose to get the Joker and Batman instead. But yeah, so this is it for part 1. Part 2 will be coming soon, so just stay tuned to the channel, like, subscribe, and comment. And welcome to the Dark Knight trilogy. Stay classy, guys.